Hey, everybody. This is Carolyn with Twisted Conversations with Carolyn. And today's Friday, July 31st. And I want to call this Feel Good Friday. It's been a minute since I've done a Feel Good Friday. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about a Feel Good Friday. Let's talk about how everybody should have a feel good every day. Okay. So, what am I talking about? Y'all know I always got something that I'm talking about. I want to talk about your mental health. Okay. I want to talk about depression. And I'm sure it's a lot of you guys that are going to say, I don't know anything about depression. I don't get depressed. I'm not depressed. Okay. But I want you to answer a couple of questions. Do you have a room or a couple of rooms in your house that are pure? Just a pure clusterfuck. You don't want anybody to go in that room. Do you have a room like that? When you get up in the morning, are you tired? Like, are you tired in the morning, right? When you get up, just exhausted, just tired. Do you not want to shower just because you don't feel like doing that today or tomorrow? You don't feel like it. Are you not interested in doing anything? It's just, I'll do it later. I'll do it tomorrow. And you feel like you're just being lazy and you blame it on everything else. You blame it on work was rough and this was hard. And I'll get to it later. I want you to go back and look at that room. Look at that room. Stand there and look at that room. How come you haven't cleaned that room? How come you didn't shower yesterday? How come you didn't shower today? But you feel like you're perfectly fine. Those are all signs that something is bothering you. Those are signs of depression. Depression isn't really such a bad word. A depression, it happens. You get sad. Things happen in your life and you grieve. Those are all natural emotions. However, when you feel that way for a period of time and you don't remember when you were happy, you might need to sit back and figure out what's going on. Now, for me, I have suffered with low self esteem and depression for over 30 years. Um, the self esteem always sucked. So that's been majority of my life. But the depression for about 30 something years. And a lot of you guys will say, there's no way. There's no way she's depressed. There's no way. Well, have you seen that commercial? That commercial with that lady that has the smiley face on a stick and she puts it in front of her face? That's me. That's me. I never want anyone to hear me um be down because that's such a Debbie Downer, right? Um so what happened, I think, in my life that made me want to seek medicine is you guys have heard my journey of taking the Wegovy and losing weight. And it's been over a year since I've had the liposuction on my thighs. Can you believe it's been a year? It's been over a year. And I am still struggling. I swear I wish I had not done it. I swear I wish I had not had that liposuction. My skin is still hanging. I'm still getting infections. And my doctor that did the surgery is out of U of M, and I have Blue Cross now. And Blue Cross and U of M don't seem to, they're not getting along. They don't like each other. And I'm not going to be able to go back to U of M to get the surgery. I did find another doctor that I liked, and I followed them and have been watching their work. And I can't go to him either because your BMI has to be a 36. My BMI is not a 36. I am still a fluffy girl. I'm just 70 something pounds less. But for me to be a have a BMI at 36, I have to lose 60 more pounds. So with the hanging skin and the repeat infections and the thighs and the legs that feel like lead sometimes push me into a different type of depression, I think. Um, and then this whole perimenopause. I mean, the hell is this? And I think the combination of that felt like a weighted blanket. Okay. If you have never experienced a weighted blanket, it's actually nice. But I don't ever want a weighted blanket ever again on my body because probably 4 or 5 months ago, I started having a weighted blanket of sadness that would come over me every single day. Now, mind you, I got laid off in October. And I figured that could have, that could have been kind of why too. It's just a whole bunch of things that was happening, right? But every single day, that weighted blanket would come and it would just rest on me. And the sadness was unbearable. It was to the point I had to ask for some help. First time in over 30 years that I decided I needed to ask the doctor for some help. So they put me on Wellbutrin and they said, try this. It's going to even help with weight loss. And I'm like, yeah, I get a 2 for 1. Let me tell you, it is a scary thing to take medicine. Because for me, I feel like it alters your mind, which it does. And I like who I am as a person. I like my personality and how I treat people. I don't ever want anything to alter that, right? So I started taking the Wellbutrin and I was irritable. I mean, irritable. I couldn't stand the way people were chewing. I didn't like the way people looked. I didn't want you to say certain things to me a certain way. I was irritable. Like, it was bad. And I still kept taking the medicine because I was like, this will pass, right? Until one night. And I'm going to pause right here. I know that there are some people who will see this video and they would say that I share too much. And I know some people don't like that I share my personal business. It is my personal business. So let's keep that in mind. It's mine. It's my personal business. But I share because I hope that I can help someone else. Okay? And it is who I am. I am very transparent about a lot of things, about a lot of things. And if I can just help one person, then it was worth me sharing. So I wanted to say that part first before I continued with what I was going to say, because what I'm going to say next may bother some of you. So in taking the Wellbutrin, there was one night that I was laying in the bed and I woke up in the middle of the night and I'm an empath. I have empathy out of this world for people. It's rough. It's rough. And I woke up And something in my mind said, Carolyn, why do people commit suicide? And I said, I don't know. And it said, Carolyn, I wonder if they want to change their mind right before they do it. And I said, well, I don't know. And then something said, Carolyn, go get your gun. It's in the next room. And just put it to your head. And I said, I don't want to do that. And it said, well, Carolyn, you don't have the bullets in there. Just go get the gun and put it in and just put it to your head. And I was like, no, I don't want to. Then it was like, well, just go ahead. Just just go ahead. Put the bullets in and then put the gun to your head and see what happens. Don't pull the trigger. Just see if you can figure out how they feel. I was like, no, I don't want to. I laid in my bed for 2 hours, frozen, but talking to myself, convincing myself that I didn't want to know what that was like. And somewhere in my head, it kept telling me to do it. It was okay. Just do it. The gun is in the next room. And I was scared to move because the gun was in the next room. Cinnamon knew something was wrong with me, and she stayed super close. And I cried. And I wanted to use my phone and call somebody. I wanted to phone a friend, but it was in the wee hours of the morning. And who was I going to call? And what was I going to say? Was I going to say that my inner self was telling my outer self to shoot myself in the head with my gun that was in the next room? Nah, because I didn't want anybody to think I was crazy. So for 2 hours, I agonized talking to myself. And I kept saying, this is not what I want to do. I was like, I can't leave my daddy. I can't leave my daddy. Then I was like, and how will my kids? What will my kids think? And then I was like, and somebody's going to have to come up in this house. And them rooms look like shit. Now, it sounds like I'm making fun out of a serious situation, but this is what was going through my head. You can't have nobody bring my sisters was gonna have to bring their asses up in my house and see these bedrooms from the depression. They were gonna see them rooms that need to be cleaned up with stuff all on the guest bed. Can't even have a guest over. My sisters can't come see my room, my house like that. Downstairs looks good. Now my bedroom looks good. My office looks like an office. Looks like I do a whole bunch of work, but I couldn't have nobody come up in here. Do you hear me? So my love for my kids and my father and my family and not wanting anybody to come up in my house. And what was gonna happen to my dog? What was Cinnamon gonna do? Who was gonna take her? And I didn't want to go to hell. So between my faith and my love for my family and my love for myself, because I wasn't ready to go, I was able to convince myself to leave that gun in the other room. So when I finally did get up, that Saturday, I remember moving super slow. And in the back of my head, something wanted me to keep coming upstairs and come get that gun. And I did. I did phone a friend. And They didn't laugh. They didn't make me feel crazy. And they told me it's the medicine that you're taking. That's a side effect. So you take medicine for depression, but it can cause thoughts of suicide. So I ended up calling the doctor's office and letting them know, hey, I'm super irritable and all these other things. And then I said, and no, I'm having thoughts of suicide. And I told them I had a gun. So another friend of mine gave me a gun box and we locked my gun up and put it somewhere that I'm not going to go at night. The bullets are not locked with the gun and the key is in a separate spot. So if something was to happen, I got to do a whole lot to try to get that. So I was scared. I was scared that what if I couldn't talk myself out of doing it the next time? So they gave me another script or something else. Zoloft. And it could cause weight gain. Just what the fuck I need to gain some damn weight. So do I really want to take it or no? So I started taking it. And let me tell you, that blanket of sadness that I was having every day, I don't have it anymore. Every now and again, I get sad. It's a heavy sad. But I was used to that, right? At work, while we're in training, um, it's funny how, you have to do so many, so many loans and you got to do so much right. And I remember normally I would always be on the edge and nervous. Nope. Every day I get up, come to my desk, and I'm like, all right, bitch, we got this. Let's tackle it. And literally, my passing rate on my loans is a 92. Now, mind you, even if I had been sad or nervous, I'm always going to do a good job at work. I pride myself on not letting my sadness affect my work. But today, I went to the doctor because I have to go every month so we can discuss how the medicine is making me feel. And she asked me, and I told her, and I said, but I have a problem. And she said, what is that? And I've discussed this with my daughter, and she got very angry with me. But I told the doctor, I said, hey, I just had that virus, and all the times I was running to the bathroom, I should have lost some weight, huh? I said, but this pill, nope, it is holding on to the weight. Like it's hold what's that song? Hold on. We hustle to that song. Y'all know what song I'm talking about. That weight is holding on. So it's holding on like a man that's going bald with a comb over and he holding on to them last strands of hair. The weight is holding on and the scale, nope. She put me back on Wegovy. They fighting each other. It's saying we want her to gain weight. This saying we want you to lose weight. It's doing absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nada. Zip. Zero. Do you hear me? So I told the doctor, I said, hey, I said, what I'm going to say is real stupid. Are you ready? And she said, yeah. I said, this medicine is making me gain weight. I said, which in turn is making me sad. I said, but my blanket of sadness is gone. I said, I feel like I have to choose. Do I want to choose to not be sad or do I want to choose to lose weight? How would you answer that question? Would you choose to not be sad or would you choose to lose weight? Y'all know I chose to lose weight, right? I want the Wegovy to work. I want to lose 20 more pounds. Y'all know I walk with a cane. My thighs are heavy and my right hip is going bad. So I need that extra help from the Wegovy, right? And the doctor told me, well, if that's what you want to do, she says, I think that if you can lose the 20 pounds that you want to lose, that now mind you, I need to lose more than 20 pounds. Okay. However, my goal is to I want to lose 20 more. And I'm not going to say I'll be happy, but that's my goal. I want to lose 20 more. 20 more. That will be my goal. And then I will take it from there, but with no help. And she said, I think if you lose the 20 pounds, you will be happy. So if you want to get off, then you can get off and we can revisit it. And I sat in the office, and as my daughter says, I'm such a weenie hut junior. I don't even know what the hell a weenie hut junior is. I know what a weenie is, but why is it a weenie hut junior? But I cried. And I told her, but I don't want to be sad. I don't want to be sad. I don't want that blanket of sadness. So I chose to stay on my medicine. You have to know that's really hard for me. It has been a hard life being overweight and growing up thinking that you're not pretty if you're overweight. And that was so embedded in my head um, that I believe it. So if I had to choose between not being sad or losing 20 more pounds, I really, really wanted to pick the losing 20 more pounds. But I surprised myself and I picked to not have that sadness. So I'm sharing this because if there's anybody out there who struggles with any type of sadness, a lot of people think, oh, just change your mindset and do this. It is not that easy. However, the wires are set up in this head of mine, it's not that easy. The doctor wants me to start my day by saying today is going to be a good day. And it's funny, I do that. I do. And then I actually say, bitch, you got this. Yep, yep. I say, bitch, you got this, bitch, you got this. And that's what I say. And I say it's gonna be a good day. Um, she wants me to write 3 good things that happen in my day at the end of the day. And every day it can't be the same thing as yesterday. She wants me to walk 30 to 45 minutes a day after I eat dinner. It's dark outside. She was like, what time do you eat dinner? I was like, late. And it's because, y'all know I'm doing 2 jobs. So Sometimes I don't get home till 9. So I can't do both jobs every day. I need to switch that up. So I'm gonna work on me. I'm gonna work on me. So I go back in 2 months and we'll see where I am. And she told me if it gets to the point that I really want to get off. I mean, like, I've never heard somebody like give somebody that choice of getting off the medicine, but I guess I chose to get on it. But she said long term, she doesn't want me to stay on the medicine forever. She just wants this to help me. And so she figured if losing the weight might do it faster, or, as far as getting me happy, or I can't say getting me happy, but helping me to not be sad. So again, if there's anyone out there, and this video I know is longer than most because I normally try to cut it off at 15 minutes. But if there's anybody who struggles with something, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to choose you. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. Sometimes we do ask our friends, what do they think? And should we do this and should we do that? But if they have not walked in your shoes, because there's a lot of people who will not understand why I was going to choose to lose weight and not be sad, it's because you don't know what it's like to be me. So we always have to be mindful of how everyone feels. But I'm telling you, the best thing I could have done for me, even though it took 2 tries. I mean, that first medicine was a mother sucker. Okay. So what I'll say, have at least one good friend or a sibling or a cousin, someone that you trust. And if you do get on a medicine, you let them know. Let somebody know that you are getting on a medicine. Someone you talk to maybe every day, maybe a couple of times a week, so that they will be able to notice or pick up on any of your mood changes. Maybe it's something that you're not realizing is happening, but somebody can say, hey, why are you so irritable? Hey, what the hell is going on? Someone who can say, you don't seem like yourself. Let someone know when you start a new medication. Let someone know when you switch. Let that be someone that you trust. And it's okay. So on this Feel Good Friday, I want to say that I'm glad that after all these years, I decided to get some help to help me with my sadness. And now I just need to work on being okay with being this size. But y'all, we gotta get that extra skin taken off my legs. Now, somebody, somebody, I cannot live the rest of my life with infections every time you turn around because of this extra skin hanging. Somebody help your girl with that. I'm just saying. So, if you have any questions for me, y'all know I'm going to answer them because again, I'm transparent Carolyn, right? I hope this message helped someone. Please do not feel bad for me. There's so many people out here that are a lot worse than I am that don't even know how, it's a lot of people that are worse off than I am. I have dealt with this all my life, and now I'm dealing with it in a different way. But if you know someone who you think needs some help, give them some grace and have a nice conversation with them. And just maybe suggest that they choose them. I'm glad I chose me. I hope you guys have the weekend you deserve. I'm sure I'm going to have the weekend that I deserve. Until next time, cheerio.